Nothing, just trying to kill two birds with one stone, just like Mercedes has with this car. This is the Mercedes CLE, and it has actually replaced two cars, both the C-Class as well as the E-Classes Cabriolet and Coupe versions. So the Coupe version is known as the C236. This is the Cabriolet, codename A236, and this is the key of the vehicle. Similar Mercedes key, and straight away I'm going to be opening the engine bay because this is the CLE 300, which is a bit disappointing because 300 doesn't have much power. You get insulation there. Engine bay looks big, but it's only the cover which is big, and you get the Mercedes logo because branding is super important and nobody's bothered to clean this engine like ever, and the car has done only 500 kilometers. Yes, I'm running it in. I'm the very wrong person to run in any car, but anyways, this is where washer fluid goes in. On the side, obviously you get gas struts, and there's obviously a bigger engine going in this, including a diesel too. So let's shut this, and I'm just going to walk around the car because when I do that, I'm actually going to be opening the roof of this vehicle because I can do that with the key. So I press this button and the roof will obviously open. So this car is actually longer than the cars it replaces. Yes, it is actually longer than both the C-Class Cabriolet, the older version, and the E-Class Cabriolet, the older version, and there the roof takes 20 seconds to fold down, which is absolutely magical. I know it's slower than the SL, but it looks so beautiful when the roof is actually going down. So yeah, this is a car which looks very desirable. The only thing is the engine is a bit disappointing because the BMW Z4, which costs less, is actually more powerful. Obviously, this is longer than the Z4 because the length of this car is almost 4.9 meters, 4850 mm to be precise. The wheelbase is almost 2.9 meters under that, obviously. So yes, it's a long car. It's actually very big. But the Z4 is a two-seater. This is actually a four-seater, and all that dirt of throwing stones and trying to clean the engine bay has really got to my fingers right now. The fingers of truth have been dirtied. The key is the same one. Lock the car, unlock the car, and this is to open the boot. Straight away, I'm actually going to open the door and turn on the vehicle so that we can turn on a few things. And there, come on, you don't even hear it. It is that silent. It is that smooth. It's unbelievably smooth. And when I open the door now, oh my God, it looks like $1 million because it is so sporty. This car is going to sell only for its looks. I can guarantee you that, which means let's have a look at the design elements. First and foremost, the overall design has been inspired from the older E-Class Cabriolet. Meanwhile, the engines come from the new E-Class, and some of the bits like the interior and the lights actually come from the new C-Class. So this obviously is a very similar light we have seen in a lot of Mercedes cars. I mean, the design elements are very much similar. However, this is the DRL, but inside you get these 4 lines which are blue colored. This light actually has a nice animation when you unlock the car, a nice animation of a goodbye when you lock the car as well. Says digital light because it has got 1.3 million micro mirrors on the inside. In fact, this will turn on first, then this will turn on. So it's a very nice subtle effect of turning on. Obviously, you don't get fog lights because the lights are so powerful, you don't need it. You get 6 parking sensors at the front because it has got self-park. Meanwhile, this Mercedes logo is massive because the radar is placed right behind because it has got ADAS. Front camera here, another Mercedes logo. How many Mercedes logo you want? Mercedes is like everywhere on the grill you have a logo, but if that's not enough, we've also got it on the bumper here. So that is crazy. In fact, this is very much functional for better aero efficiency. This car actually has multiple cameras on the top as well. One is obviously for the lane keep assist, and the other one, I suspect this one is for the dash cam or something of that sort. Mercedes written right here. I don't know what this is, but Mercedes is also written on the wipers with this sticker, which I don't understand why it's there. So like I was telling you, this car has way too many logos. I don't know why there's so many logos, but I guess those particular logos are there on the AMG line because this is actually the AMG line. The wheels on this car get a staggered tire setup. 245/40/19 is the size of the front tires. Multi-spoke. There are a lot of spokes. I suspect 16, but you can count them. Mercedes-Benz written there on the brake caliper as well. I love the way this is so nice in terms of quality. The thing to actually shut the air from leaking, obviously. And let's just shut the door because when I do that, I can tell you this car looks amazing. The design is just mind-blowing. What a beautiful looking car. Yes, the ground clearance is low. It has got the keyless go package, which means when you come near the car, it will automatically unlock. When you go away, it will automatically lock. Let me show you the rear seat space, which is actually very less. Yeah, it's actually quite less because it's a namesake 4-seater. The rear seat is way too upright. No center armrest, but it has got twin cup holders, some storage space there as well, and 2 AC vents at the rear. It gets ISOFIX child seat mounts as well. You can actually put the seat down. I will show it to you in a bit. However, it also has something known as the air cap. So this thing comes out. How does it happen? I have to press this button. Okay, I press this button, this thing will come out, that thing will also go up. For that I have to keep it pressed, but you know na, the car just wants to turn off all. Oh my god, it is locked itself. That's kind of crazy. So that's a bit of a problem you face with Mercedes cars. They want to save all the fuel in the world and they're like, we will only save the fuel, let others not even get involved in it. Gaadi band kar do. Chalo, let's open this, and when I press this button, there it opens. In fact, this thing also goes up. So this will protect air from hitting your hair, especially for girls who have longer hair. I know guys also have longer hair right now, but yeah, it actually is a filter right here. Makes the car look a bit ugly when it is obviously open, but that is at the front. At the rear, this thing has come up to prevent wind from hitting the rear seat passengers. So a lot of these small tricks are there in this car. Here you put in fuel. Some information has been written right here. Rear tire size is massive, 275 35 19s. You can see the size. Oh my god, that's big. That's what she said. Rear parking sensors, 6 of them again. Says Mercedes-Benz on the inside, but I don't know what is this fake stuff happening here. Mercedes does it in a lot of cars. I don't know for what reason. And the rear is also beautiful in terms of the lights because it has this animation. When you unlock the car, it will turn on with an animation. When you lock the car, it will go away with an animation. This is actually the rear fog light. It says 4MATIC here, CLE 300. The camera obviously pops out. Otherwise, I can just press it to open the boot, which is like very small. What is this boot? It's like Chintu Mintu. But if you're British and you want to do partition, just press this button and there the partition will come down. It's taking some time. I don't know why. It's on vacation probably. So that partition nut does not work if the roof is obviously down. So we'll show it to you, or I'll show it to you in a bit. I can press this to put part of the seat down, which is a bit weird. Why not the whole seat? But part obviously comes down. So I press this again here. Spare tire is obviously smaller size. It's 125 70 19. It's a steel wheel here. A lot of accessories lying here. First aid kit. I think this is a warning triangle. There's a light here, and that's about it. It's not a usable boot at all. Warning triangle is actually there. I think that is probably the, I don't know, whatever. There must be something there. Let's shut this. It looks beautiful from the rear, but then you realize fingers of truth are really disappointed because what is this fake stuff happening here? Why is this exhaust treatment when the real exhaust is actually placed right below? So Mercedes really goes ahead and does a lot of fake stuff. In fact, even this diffuser is fake, but you get this chrome line everywhere. Towing hook right here. Certain aspects of this fake stuff doesn't really impress me. You obviously get a high mounted stop lamp there, and you get 17 speakers, 710 watt output Burmester 3D sound system with speakers placed right here, which is a nice thing, but it also gets Dolby Atmos. It says here safety roll bar. Meanwhile, it looks amazing when this thing opens, when you're obviously trying to open or close the roof. That's really nice. I love it. Let's try and get to the rear seat. Actually, I will not. So you can put this down. So the full seat does not decline, fold, just part of it does, and it's so hard now. You really have to push it. How to get inside? Just pull this, push it, and then it will go ahead automatically. Meanwhile, it does not have a passenger airbag detection system, so it will not deactivate the front co-passenger airbag because there's no weight sensor to realize if there's someone sitting there. That's the reason that it gives you this warning that don't put your children there. It's risky because airbag would be functioning. Now, I can get inside and just stand here wondering what to do next because space is actually not that impressive. So I put the seat back and then it will sense that I'm there. It will stop moving behind. Yeah, space is okay if you compromise a bit with the front passenger. Another support is horrendous. Headroom though is unfreaking limited, and that's the beauty of a convertible. Obviously, it says airbag here because this is the very first car in the world which has got a head airbag for rear seat passengers, which is amazing if you ask me. Now, this is obviously hard. This is scooped out. There are no magazine holders here. There's speaker here. There's some storage space here as well. Beautiful white stitching. In fact, the ambient lighting looks amazing here. So amazing ambient lighting in this car, and the dashboard will definitely remind you of the Mercedes C-Class because it is kind of identical to the Mercedes C-Class. It says pre-safe here, but there is another party trick I'll show it to you. Okay, just go ahead. Let me get out from here, and getting in and out can be a bit of a problem. Meanwhile, let's remove this. It's a brand new car now, so I'm just running it in, removing all the stickers, and before you start complaining, I am authorized to do so, so don't worry. Let's put this back. Come on, go. Moving the headers ahead and behind is easy now, but why is it not happening? So I have to press this button. I do have to press it on both the sides. No, there it is. So yeah, things are a bit stiff right now, and this thing is so cool now. If it actually ends up cutting down on the wind, because I'm going to drive it like this only to see if it actually does. If you hear wind noise in the car, that thing is to blame for, not my mic, not my camera positioning. I love the fact that the doors open super wide. It says airbag here because it has got side airbags as well, curtain airbags. Tweeter placement here. speaker placement here, amazing covering for the same. The glove box is lockable. It's actually decent size, and I have been addressed as Faisal Khan sir on my test drive form, which is quite funny because I appreciate the respect, but I am not Lewis Hamilton. Now you can scan this for rescue. Let's shut this and get behind. The car looks like $1,000,000 no matter where you look at it from, and there are obviously cameras here on the mirrors. Indicator I didn't show you at the rear, so it does not get the dynamic swipe function, which is a bit disappointing because everybody is doing dynamic swipe nowadays. Come on, Mercedes, you can also do it. And obviously at the front, the DRL gets replaced by the indicator when the indicator is turned on. It gets these power domes on the bonnet, which is obviously quite cool if you ask me, because it kind of makes this car look like a muscle car. And as soon as I open the door, check this out, okay? Why is it not happening? Let me shut the door. Yeah, there it actually gives me the seat belt. Isn't that super awesome? These are actually new seats, and it has got 4-way lumbar adjustment as well. This thing actually illuminates at night. Let me just remove this as well. Yeah, this thing will illuminate at night. It's actually illuminated now also, but you can't see it. The daylight is very bright. You get AMG pedals, you get a proper dead pedal. That is the electric parking brake. These are the controls for the headlights, automatic headlights. Obviously, this is for the rear fog. There is no front fog light. Burmester speaker, door pockets are big enough at the front. This is to open the boot of the vehicle. Metal finish here, which actually is nice. These are the mirror controls. And here you have some interesting bits, because why do they have 3 of these? This is obviously for seat ventilation. This is for air scarf. So this is actually for seat heating. What is air scarf? Well, it actually puts out hot air from here to make your neck feel really warm when you're driving in the cold. So that's another very unique feature in this car. And you've got 3 settings to save for the memory, and this can be adjusted in multiple ways. In fact, if I press a button, because I've saved it on memory, you will notice the seat is moving completely. The underthigh support is opening, the headrests are moving, everything moves, so you can obviously adjust it in a multitude of ways. Underthigh support is never an issue because you can really extend it as much as you want. In fact, the steering wheel is also paired to the memory function. And let's straight away get inside. Before that, let me show you. It says airbag here. This car is filled with airbags, a lot of airbags in this car. The dashboard looks the same as the C-Class, so nothing new here. You get 3 AC vents in the center. Whenever you alter the air conditioning temperature, if you increase the temperature, it becomes red. If you decrease the temperature, it becomes blue. Auto dimming mirror. Here you get some light controls. It obviously has connected car bit. There you get a mirror along with a light. This doesn't extend. Same is the case on that side as well, but it gives you the airbag warning, obviously. Here you get some storage space along with 2 USB-C charging sockets. These are the controls to put the roof up and down. This is actually for the air cap as well as for that one. So the center one is used for that. Otherwise, these 2 buttons are to put the roof up and down. Thankfully, Mercedes has given us physical buttons, because in the SL you have to do it through the screen, and when the roof is open and when it's hot, this thing really heats up a lot. So when you touch it, like, I'm going to burn my hand. This is the engine start button. This is for stop start. Mercedes cars do not have auto hold function. I'll show you why. Okay, someone has scribbled with a pen, which is really sad, because if you keep the brake pedal pressed, it will automatically turn on auto hold. So that feature is also there. Electrically adjustable steering wheel, and you get a lot of carbon fiber sort of treatment here on the dashboard, which is kind of nice. Here you got some storage space because you've got twin cup holders, you've got a wireless charging pad, you have got a USB-C charging socket, and there it shuts. Quality is actually very impressive, but then for a car which replaces the E-cab, the interior could be a little less C-Class and more E-Class. But then, you know, now Mercedes is like, we'll design everything the same only. Touch controls here. This is for cruise control. This is to browse through that screen. This is to browse through this screen, and this is for volume control. Not the best to use. Flat bottom steering wheel. Doesn't say AMG anywhere. You obviously get the leather treatment. That's a 12.3-inch screen, which is fantastic if you ask me, because it's just amazing. In fact, this screen has got really dirty, and it's super hot as well, because when you drive with the roof down now, it immediately heats up. And I know now I'm facing this trouble of actually trying to show you because of the reflection. So we are going to actually shut the roof. There you notice it's coming up. It's a bit slow, not bit, it's quite a lot slow. It could be faster to retract and shut. I don't know why it's 4 seconds slower than the SL. Maybe they've not put as fast a motor because the SL is the flagship car, so they're like, no, not needed here. And then the windows will roll back up. It tells me that the roof operation is on, and then it'll make a sound to tell me, yeah, we are done right now. So this has the 0 layer concept, so you can access almost everything really very fast. It has got a dual zone climate control air conditioning system. You can get into the climate menu here. I can get into air quality. It has a PM 2.5 air filter as well. This is very easy to use. This gets augmented reality, the map, and the maps are just amazing. This is the inbuilt map. Press a button, you get there. So even though a lot of stuff is relying on the screen, you can actually do things really very fast, which is a good thing. Let's come out of this menu. These are the buttons to alter the drive modes. This is to get into the parking camera. It gets a 360-degree parking camera, which is just amazing. The quality is awesome. And then it obviously has got parking assistance as well, which lets you do self park too. That also actually works really nicely. It did put me in a very tight spot wherein it parked the car, but I was not able to remove it without being utterly cautious. The menu here for ESP, manual shifting and all those things you can alter from here. Meanwhile, let's get out and let me show you. This is actually the biometric sensor. So you can save up a setting, and then the screen actually can be moved. Yes, the screen has an angle, a tilt angle. By pressing a button, you can move it. So when the roof is down, obviously you don't want it completely like this. You want it a bit upright. So that can be done too. Volume controller has been given right here, and it has got multiple apps. In fact, it has got Sudoku too. So yes, some amount of games in this car, because 4-cylinder engines might not excite you. Maybe you want to play a game like Sudoku. So that's also there here. Let's actually get into the info menu, which I will obviously use while driving, but since the roof will be down, I don't know how much you will be able to see. It obviously has got ambient lighting, which is amazing because you see a lot here. You even see ambient lighting here, multiple colors, and obviously 64 colors here. You can change a lot of stuff here, like the brightness, the effects and all that. Amazing ambient lighting. I really like it. In fact, if you come to a signal, it will automatically turn on the camera and tell you traffic signal view, something of that sort. I don't know why it's needed, but it's there in this car. Now this is a 12.3-inch screen. Doesn't have as many menus because, okay, firstly I will not leave any animal or person in the car, don't worry about it. So you can change the heads up display. It has got multiple modes, and then obviously you can change the cluster mode because again it has got multiple modes. I'm going to change this while driving this car. There's a heads up display as well, which has multiple modes, which I just showed you right now and told you about. Now that is showing me the tachometer because I think it's the sport one. Soft limiter at 3900 RPM, which is a bit disappointing if you ask me. Let's shut the car. Every time you turn on and off the car now, it does this nice Mercedes effect. Okay, when you turn it on, it will show you the Mercedes effect here also. While I'm showing you this car, you know what is happening? Firstly, there's a light placement here, and it even projects the Mercedes logo here at night. So when you unlock the car, it will nicely put the Mercedes logo out there. We came here in a ground to, I came in a ground to show you the car. Let me show you this divider thing also. Press a button and there, okay, there it shuts, there it opens the divider part. So very British way of doing things. So when we came here, it was completely empty, and now this place has become a driving school. But let's start driving right away. Alright, it's time to start driving. Let's turn on the vehicle, and straight away I'm actually going to put this into sport mode. I'm going to turn on the air conditioning, and we are going to come into this menu because I want to turn off the traction control system, which is in ESP, traction control. Oh no, sorry, I don't want winter tires. Why am I turning on the winter tire limits? Into assistance, ESP off. And let's actually turn on the active brake assist also, blind spot assist, which is already on. We come into this menu, there is something called as info, and we are going to turn on the vehicle data there. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. We come into drive, hazard lights off, revs till 2100 RPM, and off we go. There it reaches 100 kilometers per hour in its own sweet time, because this is not a fast car. This is the CLE 300, which is powered by a 2-liter 4-cylinder petrol engine known as the M254. It is the exact same engine which also powers the CLE 200, which is not available in India because the CLE 200 comes with rear wheel drive as default with the option of 4MATIC. This comes with 4MATIC as standard. Power output 258 horsepower at 5800 RPM. Torque output is 400 Newton meters between 2000 to 3200 RPM. So yes, torque comes lower down, but this has a 48 volt mild hybrid system, which is the second generation one. The integrated starter generator is now more powerful. Earlier it used to produce 20 horsepower and 200 Newton meters of torque. Now it produces 3 horsepower more. Oh my god, so many more horsepowers today. And that is 23 horsepower and 205 Newton meters of torque, which means 5 Newton meters more torque, which is not much if you ask me. But the result is it goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 6.6 seconds. Not really quick again, especially if you compare it with the BMW Z4. And the reason I'm comparing it with the BMW BMW Z4, although the Z4 is not the direct rival here. The direct rival is the 4 Series Convertible, is because we do not get the 4 Series in India. The BMW Z4 costs 1.04 crores on-road Mumbai. This one costs rupees 1.31 crores on-road Mumbai. So the Z4 is 26 lakhs cheaper, has 2 additional cylinders because it uses the B58 6-cylinder engine, 3 litre, absolute phenomenal engine there in the Z4. And the output there is more because it's a bigger engine, much more power, much more torque, faster also, goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, 2.2 seconds faster, which is crazy if you ask me. So yes, the Z4 is the better car, but then Mercedes is like, we offer you a lot of tech and the car is fresher obviously, so a premium here, quite a lot of premium, but we need more cylinders for sure. In fact, Mercedes does offer a lot more cylinders because the CLE is available in so many variants, it's going to blow your mind. So the base is the CLE 200 available with rear wheel drive and the option of 4MATIC. Then there's the CLE 220D. Yes, a diesel engine with mild hybrid technology. That is also rear wheel drive. Then we have the CLE 300, which we have in India. Then there's the CLE 300E, which actually has plug-in hybrid. Then there's the CLE 450, which obviously has 6 cylinders. Then the CLE 53, again 6 cylinders. And the CLE 63 will hopefully be launched next year, which means that Mercedes is giving us very less power and torque in India. In fact, compared to the base CLE 200, this 300 is actually producing 50 horsepower and 80 Newton meters more output. Thankfully, we did not get the CLE 200. Otherwise, how would they have justified the price of this car? Although it still is not justifiable to get just 4 cylinders for this price. But anyways, onto the throttle. It's not going to disappoint you because turbo lag is very well contained thanks to the fact that mild hybrid system is doing torque fill at lower speeds to ensure that there is no turbo lag to speak of. Meanwhile, we are hitting a speed breaker, which kind of worries me because speed breakers are an absolute for this car. Although the adaptive dampers can lower the car by 15 mm. I don't know how or why, but they can do that. There is no air suspension here. This car gets adaptive dampers, which is a good thing because when you change the modes, now at least something happens to the suspension. Otherwise, nothing happens to the suspension. The suspension remains the same, the exact same suspension when you don't have adaptive dampers. And in certain markets, like in the UK, they do not offer adaptive dampers. So that's a bit disappointing for the UK guys. But at least we get adaptive dampers, considering our spec is more like the UK one because obviously right hand drive, both of us. Anyways, onto the throttle. The engine is so lethargic and it doesn't even sound that great because it obviously does not have the sound that it should. I think they pipe in some sound because when I change the drive mode, there are 4 drive modes. There's efficiency, there's comfort, there's sport, and there's individual. In individual, I can see I can actually go ahead and, okay, I'll just show it to you here. So this is comfort mode, sport mode, individual. Here we get into individual, and then it gives me the option of actually changing the sound from comfort to sport. And then what does it alter? It alters a few things: the drive, the steering, the ESP. The drive can be either eco, comfort, sport. The steering can be again comfort and sport, and the ESP system can be comfort or sport. Now, when I turn off ESP, nothing's going to happen because this is a 4MATIC system, obviously, and there is a lot of dust around, lot of trucks. So how do I actually use the convertible part of this car? I'm not able to understand that. It's telling me the forward collision warning. Heads-up display is so awesome now. It actually shows me parking sensors as well with very high quality too. So you're just going to come into the classic display because I like that. There is a microphone here because it's there on both the A pillars, because obviously with Bluetooth technology you want to use that. Meanwhile, it has an all button on the handle here with which you can actually roll down all the windows with the touch of one button, which actually makes me wonder why we're driving with the roof up. So we should just put the roof down. Do we need to stop? Not really, because up to speeds of 60 kilometers per hour you can put the roof down. So we are just going to slow down to 60 kilometers per hour, and now it's the time to put the roof down. I'm driving at 59 kilometers per hour at the edge of what speed this car allows to put the roof down, and now we have gone from average to absolute sexy in a matter of 20 seconds. But a lot of dust is already coming. Oh my god, my eyes are full of dust already. So I don't think a convertible is practical at all in India. And we also need to open this particular thing right here, which means I press a button and there it opens. So it's going to deflect some wind, but actually it results in more buffeting. I can hear a lot more wind on the inside because it hits the wind there, so the wind noise increases. Overall insulation is good because the fabric roof has some acoustic properties as well, ensuring that you can't hear much on the inside, which is certainly a very good thing. We're just going to come into this navigation menu because the screens on Mercedes cars is just awesome. Why am I stuck on this screen? Let's come into the screen, let's get into info, and let me change this to engine data. Okay, because the roof is down, I need to move this up so that there is no glare to be seen. Yeah, the acceleration disappoints. Low end is good, mid range is decent, top end is lacking. Red lines around 6,000 RPM, so doesn't really like go mad in that regard. It has a 9-speed gearbox, which is a torque converter unit. You've got paddle shifters, you can manually take control of things as well. Shift quality is decent. It's not very fast with shifts. Again, this is more of a cruiser than a sports car, and in that regard it does drive quite well. So we are right now in individual mode, so I'm going to change this mode and I'm going to put it into sport mode, because that gives you the best performance. It tightens up the steering wheel, it makes the gearbox shift faster, the dampers are stiffer. In fact, damping is quite good. Ride quality is actually very impressive. Only thing is the big thuds can be felt inside because of the low profile tires, and obviously it is on the stiffer side, it has to be. And high speed stability is also very impressive. I love the steering wheel, although the handling is not like sports car level, but considering the kind of car this is, handling is actually very good here. So nothing much to complain about in terms of the handling characteristic, although with more power I would expect the handling to become sharper as well. And I think the CLE 63 will resolve almost every problem in the world. Now, this car looks very much like the C-Class from the inside, but it's actually based on the E-Class, because this new C-Class, the W206, the latest generation of the C-Class, that was made only for 4-cylinder engine. So how is there a 6-cylinder engine in the CLE 450? Because this is actually based on the E-Class. However, some cheap bits lower down doesn't really justify the linkage to the E-Class, because the E-Class is obviously more premium in that regard. Let's change this and let's come into the assistance menu. Forward collision warning, automatic emergency braking, lot of ADAS features, and all of them work really well in this car, because Mercedes is kind of aced ADAS. Only thing is the ADAS system is just way too sensitive, kicks in way too early and very abruptly as well. So that's something which should be better. The service menu actually looks quite cool. I love playing with the screens. There's so much information there. It's like an information overload for sure. But the main thing about this car is that for the price, 4 cylinders seems a bit too less, and performance isn't that spritey as it should be. Yeah, for the price obviously you expect a lot more. Let's do the brake test right away. And you heard that, okay? Brakes are not strong. Yeah, some of the brakes are not strong because it tends to screech a lot, makes a lot of tire noise as well. So braking performance could be a lot better. This car definitely deserves better brakes. Okay, it's time to launch. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, revving the motor, revs to 2100 RPM, and off we go. Yeah, it's not very spritey as such. Performance is just mediocre. Now it obviously comes with the coupe version, which is not offered in India. The coupe has a different bumper when compared to the convertible, which we are driving today right here. This also brings me to the fact that CLE was rumored to come back in 2006 with the W204 version of the C-Class, but they never brought it in, which means that this is actually the very first generation of the CLE. And let's quickly use the wipers. Okay, there is a lot of water, some of which is actually coming to my face also from the top, but I'm not minding it. Cleans the windscreen very nicely as well, which actually brings me to this menu, because you have to go through the menu to do a lot of stuff, which is a bit frustrating if you ask me. I want to turn on manual shifting. Let's see, does it hold on to a gear? I am sure it will. Okay. Oh my god, why is it not holding on to a gear? So let's actually come to the classic mode, because there I can see better information for sure. Come on, baby. Meanwhile, the Z4, it actually produces, hold your breath, 340 horsepower. So that's like approximately 82 horsepower more than this car, which is a lot if you ask me. Come on, Mercedes, don't sap all the power. Why is it not holding on to a gear? I'm quite surprised there that it's not holding on to a gear. It should be doing that. By the way, it also has 27 horsepower of overboost. If the turbocharger temperature is fine, it's not heated up and all, it will give you an additional boost of 27 horsepower, which is amazing. But the problem is that I think that 27 horsepower which Mercedes claims is the overboost gets subtracted from the 258 horsepower of this car. So Mercedes is doing something similar to what BMW is also doing, because BMW is also giving an overboost function of 10 seconds. So that kind of robs away the fact of saying that your car has this much horsepower when it actually doesn't have it. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be manual control, which I'm very surprised by right now. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, hazard lights off, revving the motor, no launch control, and off we go. It's in manual mode right now. It will still upshift. It doesn't give me manual control of things, which is a bit too disappointing if you ask me. This car is underpinned by the MRA2 platform, which is modular rear architecture 2, which underpins the C-Class, the E-Class, the S-Class, and the latest GLC as well. But that's a rear-wheel drive platform. But this is 4MATIC. Why is it 4MATIC? God only knows why they're adding 4MATIC and adding unnecessary weight to this car. It's not needed at all. But as I see it, this is a fantastic looking car, which definitely... Okay, brakes make too much sound, and then you hit this bad patch of road and you realize that low profile tires are just not meant for our country, and roads can change in the blink of an eye as well. Like the roads were good and I don't know what happened all of a sudden, why they became so bad all of a sudden. So this car looks sexy, it just needs more power, because for the price I expect more, and for the price all of us definitely expect more. If you're looking for a performance car, the BMW M340i is still unbeatable at around rupees 87 lakhs. Meanwhile, this car largely offers you open top motoring, although it's quite questionable how you can drive on such dirty roads of our country wherein there's dust always flying inside. I have to keep cleaning the windscreen all the time, sorry, not the windscreen, the infotainment system, because a lot of dust keeps getting filtered, keeps coming from everywhere, and somebody might just spit pan from here, which will make the cabin like really dirty. If you like this vlog, make sure to give it a thumbs up, that's the like button, and also subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next video real soon. Bye bye.